of BizStarts. It's wonderful to see everyone here tonight. We're so happy that you could be with us. We welcome you to a special evening, the celebration of BizStarts' 10-year anniversary. It's also the very unofficial kickoff to Startup Week. Tonight is a celebration of entrepreneurship and an opportunity to honor 10 great entrepreneur and legacy companies who have contributed to the economic growth of our region. We're very grateful to MillerCoors for hosting our event here at the historic stables and for providing a wonderful selection of drinks. I'd like to invite Tammy Garrison to the stage to provide a welcome from MillerCoors. Thank you, Tammy.
Hi, good evening and welcome. For those of you that maybe can't hear me out on the periphery, if you can't hear me, I don't know you're there, we may have to close down the taps. I'm going to assume you guys are having a great time tonight. On behalf of the 1,300 employees that work right here in Miller Valley, I want to say welcome. We're so excited to have you here. What you're experiencing tonight is what we call Miller hospitality, and it dates back to our founder, 1855. We started this brewery in this spot, in this town, because Frederick Miller saw the potential in this community. We used to have a beer garden just up on the hill in I think it was 1857, and we've been inviting people into Miller Valley to experience our hospitality since then. We're incredibly honored to have you here tonight. We hope you enjoy a little bit of Miller time responsibly. Enjoy the beverages, but more important, please join us, come in. Let's celebrate some of the wonderful people that we're going to celebrate tonight, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Tammy. You and your team have been absolutely wonderful to work with, and we are very thankful for the generosity of MillerCoors. We'd also like to thank the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation for their generous support of BizStarts over this last year, and we welcome Secretary and CEO Mark Hogan, who's here with us this evening. This evening is also made possible by all of our generous sponsors, and I'd like everyone to give one clap when I call out their names. Our presenting sponsors for the evening is the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, Destination Management Connection, Kane Communication. Our community sponsors are Direct Supply, US Bank, JP Morgan Chase, Milwaukee Business Journal, Quad Graphics, and BMO Harris. You guys did amazing at that. Thank you very much. We'd also like to thank our cocktail table sponsors that are here listed on the screen behind me. BizStarts' mission is to serve, coach, mentor, and connect small business entrepreneurs who are the driving force of Wisconsin's economy. We are grateful to our entrepreneurs here tonight who are dedicated to running their business, improving their business, and serving our community. Can we give a round of applause to all of our entrepreneurs here in the back this evening? If you have not already, please make sure to visit them at our Entrepreneur Marketplace. These are all new and young companies that are supported by BizStarts. Please consider their businesses for the diverse services and products they supply, as well as consider one of our delicious local food vendors for your next dinner or for your holiday party. Holiday season is just coming up. A special thanks to Catherine Gleasing of Destination Management Connection. Catherine is one of our entrepreneurs and an event planner that has done an amazing job setting this all up for us tonight. So please consider Catherine as well if you are in need of an event planner. We have a wonderful program for you tonight, and I will now introduce Denise Thomas, who is our MC for the evening. She is the owner of the Effective Communication Coach, and she's a BizStarts mentor and coach, and she is absolutely the definition of passion and hustle. Thank you so much, Denise, for being here tonight.
Good evening. stage. Y'all look so good. I am absolutely thrilled and excited to be here to help each of us in this room not only celebrate existing entrepreneurs, but also induct the incoming Hall of Fame entrepreneurs as part of BizStarts. So let's give ourselves a hand for being here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight is about celebration. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about new and young companies that if you have not already met, make sure that you connect with them in our marketplace, as well as, again, inducting 10 successful entrepreneurs and legacy companies into the Hall of Fame. The BizStarts Entrepreneur Hall of Fame will be permanently located in the new Lubar Entrepreneurship Center, which is now being completed on the UWM campus. The inductees tonight will be featured in the first ever Wisconsin Entrepreneur Hall of Fame, so citizens from all over the state can visit and learn our history. We will begin our Hall of Induction Fame shortly, but first it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Dan Steininger, founder and president of BizStarts, who will be sharing the history of BizStarts over the past 10 years. Let's give a round of applause for Dan.
If I share the 10-year history, all of you will leave, so I'll be merciful. Anyhow, 10 years ago, happy birthday, BizStarts. I would lead the birthday show, but you don't want me singing. So anyhow, 10 years ago at Discovery World, we launched BizStarts to start an entrepreneurial economy in southeast Wisconsin. And one of the reporters at the time said, "Why are you doing that?" And I said, well, Wisconsin is the 49th in the nation for startups, and that's where most jobs come from. So somebody has to do something. So we did it to create an entrepreneurial economy, number one. Number two, at the time, colleges and universities really didn't focus on entrepreneurship. It really wasn't a big part of their curriculum. Yet we knew a lot of students wanted to start companies. So we started encouraging colleges and universities. We ran a student business contest to get them talking about it and talking about businesses for young students. And lastly, we did it to help companies get started. People who are entrepreneurs had a place to go to get a company started. Well, 10 years later, I think everyone in this room can agree that our economy in southeast Wisconsin is entrepreneurial on steroids, isn't it? Every week you read about another startup, another organization promoting startups. Next week we start Startup Week. Where's Matt Cordio? I can't see you. Matt, would you stand up? Matt Cordio. Matt, stand up. He's the guy behind Startup Week. It's going on steroids. So really, what's happening, it's an exciting time in our community. And all I can say is when it comes to our goal of creating an entrepreneurial economy, mission accomplished. Something else has happened in the last 10 years. Every major college and university in southeast Wisconsin has programs for their students now on entrepreneurship. Some are building entrepreneurship centers. It's hard to imagine a school today that doesn't have entrepreneurship as an important part of their curriculum. We don't even have to do our student business contests anymore. So 10 years later, I can honestly say, mission accomplished. Now, one of the traditions we started back in '08 is to honor the greats who have started companies. You know, you have a baseball Hall of Fame, you have a rock and roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, you have the National Smithsonian in Washington D.C. You always honor the greats because they become role models forever. Here's a list of some of the, if you could roll this ahead, to some of the entrepreneurs we've been honoring over the last few years, and you can see the people who have contributed to these are people we've honored. People that would be our household names. Back that up again. You'll see those names. that really are people who we've honored, and people like Roy Ryman, Jim Lindenberg, people who started great companies and created great jobs for their fellow citizens. They took the crazy risk of starting a business, their own personal capital at risk, and created jobs for their fellow citizens. Now, one area that has to be addressed, and that is, as Elizabeth mentioned, small business entrepreneurs. You know, when we started back in 2008, we focused on the high growth, otherwise known as gazelles, the high-tech companies. In 2014, we pivoted and we opened our doors to all small business entrepreneurs. Why? Because these are small business entrepreneurs starting restaurants, coffee shops, little contracting businesses, electricians, plumbers. They've never had a place to go for free help that gives them what they need, the tools to succeed in business. So they're not as glamorous, but guess what? Most Americans work for small business enterprises that are family owned. So we've really hit the sweet spot. So anywhere across this community, now there's a place for them to go to get help if they want to grow a business. They can get a coach, they can get hand-holding, they get connections to the resources they need to succeed. So, we're doing our part to improve the ranking of Milwaukee and make this a vibrant community for entrepreneurs and new businesses. So when you leave here tonight, you don't have to go through neighborhoods are boarded up anymore. You're starting to see new businesses happening. It's happening. So, tonight we now honor those who have gone before us, created world-class businesses right here in this community, and we're saying you belong in a Hall of Fame, and that BizStarts Hall of Fame will be located on the UWM campus, and it's going to be an exciting place where people can come from all over the state to see where the people are responsible for this region. So with that in mind, I will now turn it over to Denise and Elizabeth to honor our Rockstar Hall of Fame inductees.
Awesome. Okay, first let me just say this. Where else can you go tonight where you can get a hand massage, learn how to get gas delivered to your car, eat some delicious food, light some candles, learn how you can have conversations over food? Where else can you go tonight to get that? And then also get your closet organized under one roof. Did anybody else have any places like that on their agenda this evening? Raise your hand. That's what I thought. You're welcome. Thank you, Dan. So tonight, we are here again to honor a number of amazing organizations that have contributed, as Dan had mentioned, to this amazing city of Milwaukee and state of Wisconsin. In the United States, we have a strong tradition of recognizing and honoring our fellow Americans who achieve greatness. We get to visit the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., as Dan had mentioned, as well as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. These founders, again, have launched companies, and specifically here in Milwaukee is the reason why we continue to grow so successfully. We have never recognized or had an Entrepreneur Hall of Fame, so let's talk about how we're going to do that this evening. BizStarts created the Hall of Fame so our fellow citizens can learn about these quiet, unsung heroes who risked their personal capital to create these businesses. And it is important to note that all the presenters that you will see tonight in celebration of our 10 years are, again, local business entrepreneurs. We're going to do this tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in 3 categories. The first category will be founder. The second category will be family. And the third category will be legacy. It is important to note also that all the presenters you're going to see in this video are BizStarts entrepreneurs, and each are telling the story of an important moment of each of tonight's honored entrepreneurs. So let us begin with our founding category. And as the videos are playing, I'm going to ask that each of our honorees in the founder category, please make your way to the stage. After the video, we want to definitely make sure that we present you with your award, as well as take an amazing photograph of you in this moment. direct your eyes to the screen, ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you.
Baptista's Bakery was founded in 1999 after the sale of the original Gardetto family bakery to General Mills. Nan Gardetto, granddaughter of founder Baptiste Gardetto, kept a piece of the family business, and after trying to establish Baptista's own brand of snack foods, she and the other leaders realized it was much too costly to compete with billion-dollar companies. Instead, they began to find ways to be collaborative instead of competitive with these food industry giants. As a result, Baptistas could do what they were best at, developing snack products, and then partner with companies that could take those products to market. In our business, we understand the value in collaboration. We team up with licensed therapists to supplement our therapeutic art classes. The lesson is to know what you are good at, and if you need to, find a partner who can enhance your product or service. Congratulations to Baptista's Bakery on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And accepting this honor is our founder of Baptista's Bakery, Nan Gardetto.
By the way, the award they're getting, they'll be featured in the Hall of Fame, but tonight it's done by a local blacksmith. So it's a blacksmith wrought iron representation of the state of Wisconsin.
Next, we honor Paper Machinery Corporation.
Paper Machinery Corporation makes the machines that make the containers for many of your favorite foods. Founded in 1951, PMC initially had trouble selling their paper cup making machines thanks to a market tightly controlled by a few other companies. PMC formed their own company, Holiday Cup, to try to break into the US market by selling paper cups. It didn't really work. But they sold Holiday Cup to a vendor who realized that making their own cups saved a lot of money, and began buying PMC machines in quantity. With their first domestic customer, PMC was finally able to break into the US market. Perhaps making cups wasn't their forte, but PMC has shown me that sometimes you have to get creative to show the market the value of your product. Congratulations to Paper Machinery Corporation on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And accepting this award is founder and president Don Baumgartner.
Don Baumgartner. Now, Don is talking about a book he's written and co-authored with someone on his life. And the stories were spellbinding, what he went through in business. But little did I know, at some point in his life, he ended up flat on his back in the middle of Africa when he was searching for gorillas. And he said, I'm not moving one more inch, period. Luckily, he eventually got up, but we wouldn't have it. So if you haven't read his book, get a hold of it. It is spellbinding. Just listening to him is a great read. So there you go.
And last in the founders category, but most certainly not least, is V&J Holdings.
The success of V&J Holding Companies began with their first Burger King restaurant in 1984. Today, They are one of the largest restaurant franchise organizations in the country and are proudly involved in many civic, educational, and promotional activities. Their company motto is YATSE, which stands for You Are the Standard of Excellence. But it was unwavering faith in 1997 that shaped this company. It was then that they acquired 61 Pizza Hut restaurants to add to their growing family of eateries and triple the size of their business overnight. V&J Holdings proves that if you want to grow, you have to go. I am blessed to be able to follow their lead and take my business to the next level. I can't wait to double or triple my business. Congratulations to V&J Holding Companies on your induction to the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And accepting this founder award is the founder and president, Valerie Daniels Carter.
I told her brother, John Daniels, who is had been the managing partner of Quarles and Brady, is there something in the Daniels family is genetic about it? I mean, if we could clone you, all of our problems would be solved. This is an entrepreneurial family of epic proportions, so it's proud to have you inducted to our Hall of Fame. This woman is world class.
Next, we will have our family entrepreneurs. So families in the room, please join us in honoring our first recipient. And again, please come to the stage to receive your award and photograph. Quad Graphics.
In 1971, Harry V. Quadracci took a second mortgage on his home and with a little extra help from friends and family started Quad Graphics. His upstart printing business had only a rented press, a borrowed binder, and 11 dedicated employees. 6 years later, in 1977, Newsweek magazine took a chance on the fledgling printer and changed Quad's trajectory forever. Word quickly spread about Quad's innovation and can-do spirit. Quad expanded nationally and eventually internationally. Every entrepreneur understands the dedication, determination, and grit that's needed to stay committed to a business vision. We can relate to taking risks, financial and otherwise, to get our businesses off the ground. Those of us still in the startup phase can look at Quad and know that with good ideas and hard work, perseverance will pay off. Congratulations to Quad on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And accepting this award is Chairman and President, CEO, Joel Quadracci.
Well, very sad, right? So is it true that, I hate to put you on the spot, because I read your mother's book, Shoot Ready Aim, that Dad really fired you at some point, or is that just in the book? I got fired into someone on the same day. And the most interesting part, and Joel apparently said to his dad, does that mean I can't come to our great Christmas party? But his dad, who I actually knew, was one of the great guiding leaders in my life and mentor. And he always said something, because that's the name of the book his mother wrote, Shoot, Ready, Aim. And I think the point Harry made is, as Americans, we want to go solve problems right away. But what Harry is getting at, take your time to understand the problem before you run out trying to solve it. So it's a great meeting with Joel. You had a great family, and it's a great company, so thank you. Thank you.
Our next Family Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame inductee is Doman.
In 1858, people were getting sick and dying from poorly made products being peddled as miracle cures by snake oil salesmen. Frederick Doman decided to do something about it. He started the Doman Company to keep people healthy using innovative, new quality standards. 160 years later, Doman had the courage to reinvent itself, moving in and out of different business models from manufacturing to patient care. But they've always stayed true to their goal of keeping people healthy. I find inspiration in Doman's legacy of purpose and innovation. Being willing to change what you do without changing what you stand for resonates with my personal passion to grow my business and strengthen our community. Congratulations, Doman, on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And accepting on behalf of Doman is CEO and President Cynthia LeConte.
I tell you, there may be brighter men, but I don't remember when. This is one of the greatest strategic thinkers we have. But she's a strategic thinker with a heart. She's on one exit, she's already off to her next business, but she's also becoming a community leader. And I honestly think our community needs people like Cynthia, and we're just lucky to have her. So congratulations.
Our next and final recipient of the Family Entrepreneur Hall of Fame inductee is Mortera.
Mortara Instrument started out making medical devices for other companies in 1982. Since 1998, though, Mortara products can be found in hospitals and cardiologists' offices around the world. The key to Mortara's global success came when they stopped making devices for other companies to sell and started putting their own name on the devices and selling them directly. This decision paved the way for exponential growth in the company, as they were now able to share their innovations directly with the end users. Mortara's move from being the core resource of other companies to doing it all on their own brand truly inspires my passion as an entrepreneur, and it should inspire all entrepreneurs to believe in their product, their business, and themselves. Congratulations to Mortara Instrument on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And on behalf of Mortera, we have Justin Mortera, former CEO of Mortera Instrument and recent founder of Mortera Group.
He's not only a neighbor, but he's got the greatest haunted house in the world. Nobody decorates a house like he did. But you know what's great about Mortera Instruments and what they did? Every one of us in this room at some point in our life, whether we like it or not, the technology they've created in the medical space helps diagnosis and helps us to live longer. So we all have a personal better gratitude to what they've done as a company. So, and like Cynthia and others, Justin has not, since the exit of the company, he has put his time in becoming a community leader and changing the lives of our fellow citizens. So we're glad he stayed here and he's helping to lead the process.
Our final Hall of Fame inductee category is Legacy Companies. And our first BizStarts Hall of Fame inductee for Legacy Companies is Aldrich Chemical.
Aldrich Chemical was a manufacturer of research chemicals founded in 1951 by Alfred Bader and Jack Eisendrath. They began working out of a garage, ordering chemicals from other sources, while they built their own catalog of products. Eventually, they began making their own, and soon built a chemical library of over 50,000 substances for researchers around the country and the world to use in their experiments. By 1966, Aldrich was ready to go public, and after a merger with Sigma Chemical in 1975, the company was doing $43 million in sales. In 1999, that number had grown to $1 billion. Sometimes success comes from being a resource for other companies. In my event planning business, I am not only a resource for other companies, I have my own library of great vendors that help me pull an event together to make it successful. Congratulations, Aldrich Chemical, on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
Receiving the award tonight is President and CEO of Bader Philanthropies, Dan Bader.
So this has become a world-class company, have a global impact,
Our next legacy company recipient and inductee of the Hall of Fame is Briggs & Stratton.
Stephen Briggs and Harold Stratton began a partnership in 1908 with the hope of making an impact in the automotive business. 110 years later, Briggs & Stratton is the world's largest producer of small engines and an innovative leader in the industry. But if it weren't for the acquisition of the A.O. Smith motor wheel in 1919, Briggs & Stratton might not have that global standing. Gaining this technology led to the development of the stationary Type B engine, which revolutionized the four-cycle gas engine industry. These small engines could be then used in washing machines, generators, and of course lawnmowers. The success of Briggs & Stratton teaches us many things. The importance of knowing how to identify an opportunity, to look for partnerships, and be willing to fail, pivot, and keep going. Most importantly, it teaches us that success doesn't happen overnight, that it's not easy, but it can be very rewarding. Congratulations to Briggs & Stratton on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
Receiving the award on behalf of Briggs & Stratton is President and CEO Todd Teske.
CEO of a publicly traded company who learned how to do voice of the customer, and we call that ethnographic research, by taking a shopping trip with his wife to buy a washer dryer. Now, you're going to wonder about that story. Well, he's around here. He'll tell you the rest of that story. But who has the humility as a CEO to learn something from a shopping trip with his wife, and from that, change the way Briggs innovates and the way it listens to customers? That's an amazing story, but at the bar later, he'll tell you the rest of it.
Our next legacy company Hall of Fame inductee, and I'm a little biased, but it's the best beer company on planet Earth. Can you take a guess?
Milwaukee has been known for many beers over the past couple of centuries, but none have surpassed the success of the brewery Frederick J. Miller founded in 1855. But a trip to Germany in the early 1970s inspired then CEO John Murphy to bring a lighter beer to the U.S. market. After making some improvements to a recipe purchased from another brewery, they introduced Miller Lite in 1975 and created a whole new category in the beer industry. Within 2 years, Miller had grown to be the second largest brewer in the country, and more than 4 decades later, Miller Lite is still one of the top-selling beers in the U.S. Personally, while growing up, a Miller in the fridge for my dad was a must-have. No other brand would do. This is what happens when a product becomes a standard. MillerCoors was willing to take a risk, think outside the box, and shake up an industry in the process. As an entrepreneur, that is my end game as well. Congratulations to MillerCoors on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And on behalf of MillerCoors, let's welcome Chief People and Diversity Officer David Oswald. Our next legacy company Hall of Fame inductee is Northwestern Mutual.
For more than 160 years, Northwestern Mutual has been woven into the fabric of the Milwaukee community, helping families and businesses achieve financial security. On September 11, 2001, Northwestern Mutual lost 157 policyholders. While other insurance companies suggested they might invoke war clauses, which would exempt them from paying on the claims, Northwestern Mutual announced they would honor all claims even without death notices. Their actions remind us that ultimately our businesses exist to serve others. In my organizing business, I help clients reorganize their lives, which is sometimes a difficult and complicated process. Northwestern Mutual shows us that sometimes it's best to lead with compassion. Congratulations to Northwestern Mutual on your induction into the BizStarts Hall of Fame.
And on behalf of Northwestern Mutual, please welcome Vice President of Digital Workplace, Corporate Solutions, and Head of Digital Innovation, Carl Governor. Thank you, Dan. Let's give one more big round of applause for all of our honorees tonight. Now, before we move on, we have one more person that we would like to honor. So to do that, I would like for all of us to please welcome to the stage Amanda Balls.
Dan is the fearless and highly energetic founder and president of BizStarts. When Randy Spalding and a few of us started Spalding Clinical 10 years ago, we were Dan's first project. Dan and John Torina spent many hours with us rehearsing and refining the pitch. And most importantly, Dan instinctively understood the fragility of startups and the power of positivity and cheerleading. This cannot be understated. Randy always left Dan feeling, of course we can do this, even if he was unsure and scared to death inside. The entrepreneurial vision lived on at Spalding, and today we now have another company that we have spun out of Spalding Clinical, Spalding Medical. I personally had the delight to work with Dan in our journey at Spalding Medical as well, and found his enthusiasm and can-do approach incredibly inspiring. This has led to the creation of over 200 health and biotech jobs to our region. Dan helped spark our company's growth, which has ushered in new life-saving drugs and innovations in medical technology. We at Spalding are incredibly humbled to be chosen to honor Dan on his 10 years of pioneering leadership with BizStarts.
By the way, I never envisioned 10 years ago that I would have to do a stand-up routine when our videos didn't work for our entrepreneurs. By the way, for those who are honored tonight, you're going to love the videos. They were gorgeous. The audience never figured out how to make them work, and we tested them. So anyhow, I want to close this by telling you a couple of things. 10 years ago, if someone had asked me, how long do you think this is going to survive? 10 years? I would have said, 10 years? If we make it to the end of next year, I'll be happy. For everyone out there, for all the entrepreneurs in the audience, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't know from the very get-go. Every idea, whatever dream you may have, is it really going to work? Is it really going to happen? Well, here we are 10 years later, and it's happening. Now I'll say this. more challenging, and here's why. You look at the downtown now, it's vibrant, it's exciting, things are going on, people are moving downtown. We're really an exciting community to be. New buildings, gleaming office towers. We're all proud of what's happening to Milwaukee. If we go west, starting to Wauwatosa, or north to the suburbs, or south to Cudahy, you see vibrant suburbs where economic activity is alive and thriving. Between downtown and those suburbs, our neighborhoods are still not doing well. There's a lot of hopelessness. We still have the fourth worst city in the nation. So our challenge for the next 10 years is to help those small business entrepreneurs start new businesses in their neighborhood. You know, it only takes one business, maybe two, in a given neighborhood to instill pride, to make people feel good. Those are jobs that are not going to go away. They're jobs that we all need. Your electrician, your plumber, the local food store, the local restaurant, coffee shop, all the people we've been seeing tonight. Those are what we're going to do and what our challenges in the next 10 years. It will, we guarantee you, bring back this community one neighborhood at a time. Now, we're lucky to have a couple of our entrepreneurs here tonight. Elizabeth, you want to join me and call us some names? Is David Mungu in the audience? I was hoping he was going to be here tonight, but she has a couple more. Just to let you know some of the people we're helping out. Come on up.
We have two of our entrepreneurs. I'm going to first call Kathy Rogers of Heavenly Hands to give a brief testimonial about her business and what the process of working with BizStarts and also Launch Milwaukee, one of our great partners. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Rogers, and I'm the founder and sole operator of Heavenly's Hands. I'm a licensed nail technician, a licensed esthetician, a certified master pedicurist. I specialize in providing total body care with a heavenly touch. But what's near and dear to my heart is diabetic services and foot services for seniors. So I do travel to those who are unable to make it out. Now, the reason I'm here is to just tell you how excited and how grateful I am for BizStarts for partnering with Launch Milwaukee. I actually attended the Business Academy and just graduated this past May. And although I've been in business for 4 years, I thought that I could just learn a little bit, you know, the laws and rules and regulations, because of course I had everything, you know, it was already done. I knew what I was doing. What a surprise. When I sat in those classes and I listened to the knowledgeable mentors and just looking at the coursework and the support that I received from BizSmarts and Launch Milwaukee, it really opened up a whole new level of understanding as far as my business. I am totally and just grateful for everything BizStarts has done for me. And they're not done. I have mentors, I have meetings, I have opportunities such as this. If it wasn't for BizStarts taking the time to partner with Launch Milwaukee and providing the Business Academy for us, my business will not be where it is today. It has opened up my portal to success, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you so very much.
Next to me is David Buchan and his wonderful wife, Alice. David, 5 years ago, was not an entrepreneur. He's now an entrepreneur in residence at BizStarts. He is a landlord, but a good landlord. He has over 100 rental units now. Over 100. They're good quality housing. He hires local contractors. He gives people affordable places to live. Now, what's interesting about David, he and both Alice started out in Kenya, East Africa. That's where they were born. Well, I spent 2 years of my life in Kenya, East Africa with Judy, my wife, as teachers in the Peace Corps. So, the one thing about having David along is we can still practice our Swahili. So David's on the shy side, but I did ask him, let's say, in Kiswahili, asante sana. That means thank you, BizStarts. And I would say now David is what we call Bwana Mkubwa. That means a big one. Because we have a big business.
We have one more entrepreneur for you this evening, Britt Blackwelder of The British Way. Please welcome Britt.
Good evening.
My name is Britt Blackwelder, and I am the owner and the Chief Organizing Officer for the British Way Professional Organizing Services. So my goal is to help my clients turn their clutter and chaos into calmness and clarity. So please be sure to stop by my table after this presentation if you haven't already, but I focus on home organization. So that could be any room in your house. It could be your professional office. You might need help with pre-baby organization or post-remodel organization. So I'd like to thank BizStarts for the boost that they gave my company. Lisa helped me identify important next steps, and she kept me accountable with deadlines and check-ins. I instantly felt like I had somebody in my corner rooting me on, and I feel so lucky that we have a resource like BizStarts in our community. On behalf of the British Way and BizStarts, I'd like to extend a special congratulations to the successful entrepreneurs and the legacy companies being honored here tonight. Thank you.
It's interesting when they all see the references, having a coach, a mentor. I was an accidental CEO, and the first thing I did is got a hold of the folks from MRA, because it was an organization that could answer objectively some help I needed. How do you learn the ropes of a business? And so that kind of connection you have as a young entrepreneur, a business leader, is invaluable. Anyhow, I'd like to end this tonight with a personal request. We are not a governmental agency. We are not endowed. We offer our services to these entrepreneurs at no cost to them. These are individuals who don't have parents who have been in business. They don't have people to reach out to help them. So that's what we do. What I like is everything we do, and for all the neighborhoods we're now helping, we can do more if we have more financial resources. We can help more entrepreneurs, we can do more coaching. So I'm going to ask all of you to give some serious thought to an additional pledge to BizStarts tonight. And I'm going to begin it with a pledge of $5,000 from my foundation, which was started by the interesting Daniel Hone, who was my grandfather, the mayor of this city. And Dan Hone was the mayor of this city when Milwaukee was the entrepreneurial center of America. We would not have won World War II if it weren't for the manufacturing base of this city. That's how we won that war, because this city and this community did that. So, on behalf of Dan Hone, I'm starting the pledge of $5,000. So, here's the deal. If you look under your seats, you're going to find a clipboard. Oh, are we sneaky or what? You'll find that clipboard. And on that clipboard is a pledge card. And you have to look at that pledge card, because that stands between you and the bar. I would ask you to just take a minute and see if you can be generous to BizStarts and help us out. And while you're doing that, I want Julia Taylor to come up here. So as you're writing those huge checks. 10 years ago, this is the true story. I sat with George Dalton at Perkins on the west side at 6:30 in the morning. And by the way, I got to pay for breakfast. And I said, George, we're hurting. We're not growing as a community. We don't have enough startup businesses. And he said, Danny, you have to do something about it. I said, I'm a big company guy, but what I know about it, run a poor insurance company, he said, I don't care. Somebody has to do something. He said, I'll connect you. You know Julia Taylor. So that's it. We followed up with Julia. Julia brought Ed Zorro, who was the head of NFL, and all of the GMC together. And Ed's eyes were glazing over. And I said, you know, if you're like me, you just call premium every day. Then he remembered. Julia said, now don't give up, Ed. And Ed remembered, wait a second. I had an uncle who didn't have a high school degree, but he figured out how to design curlers so women could sleep at night. And he died a multi-millionaire. They said, Ed, you get it. He appointed me to head a GMC committee on entrepreneurship. And thanks to this woman, the rest is history. We wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for Julia Taylor. She is the magician behind it. I have George Dalton here tonight as well, but he's indisposed. Boy, we missed him. He was such a character. He was a wonderful person to know. So, Elizabeth, is there anything you can add to what we should be saying? Oh, you have some thank yous as people.
I do have some thank yous. Thank you, Dan, and thank you everyone again for being here this evening. You can plan and plan and plan, as any good entrepreneur knows, right? And sometimes things just don't work. So thank you for your patience, and please check your inboxes tomorrow because we will definitely send our awesome videos to you, and we'd love for you to take the time to watch them. So before we wrap up, I do want to thank our wonderful board of directors, our mentors that are here tonight, and the staff of BizStarts. If you can all stand up, we'd love to give you a round of applause. All of you are great supporters and contributors to our mission, and we could not provide the services that we do without your help. So thank you again to all of our sponsors this evening. We're grateful for your generosity and your support as well. And thank you to our honorees. Thank you for being a guiding light to all of entrepreneurship in our great city. Please continue to network. Visit our entrepreneur marketplace. There's more food, and we wrapped up a little bit early, so hit the bar.
And I will say this for myself. You know, any great organization needs somebody who runs the place. Because the trains are run on time. Since bringing Elizabeth on 2 years ago, we ask feedback from everybody coming to us for help. We get 5 on a 5-point scale. She's got the coaches delivering quality. Every entrepreneur's passed their experience to rate it. We get great reviews. She's hit the ground running, loves what she's doing, been an entrepreneur in her whole life. And so can you imagine the kind of person she has to be to work with Dave? By the way, is psychiatric bills deductible? I don't know. Is that a normal business expense, Todd? Is that a normal business expense? So anyhow, let me publicly thank Elizabeth, and let's thank her for Anyway, from here I'm going to Saturday Night Live. We try to do this when there's no videos. I mean, do I qualify? We're going to pass that back if our volunteers can now collect the pledge cards, wherever they are, just grab them, come here and collect them. And as soon as your roll has been collected, just like church, then you can bring that.